Hey guys, and welcome back into the channel. It's been a few days since we've done our Big Brother reviews. Wanted to give some people opportunities to catch up, but we're going to get back at it here with episode 15. This was an amazing episode of Big Brother. An episode from beginning to end was filled with controversy, filled with drama, filled with fights. I think of all the episodes thus far of the season, this episode had the most fights. There were some fights in previous episodes, but in terms of fights from beginning of the episode throughout the entirety of the episode, this had to be one of the episodes that had the most of it. The episode starts out with Kent obviously being, somewhat upset and disappointed that he was nominated by Hardy, who he previously was in alliance with. I love one of the things he said though in the diary room, he calls Hardy a phony. Straight up says Hardy is a phony. He is as phony as every other person in this house. He's just a phony guy trying to snatch a $500,000. And I had to say to myself, thank fucking God, Kent. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for bringing that to the attention of all the viewers. I've been saying it all along. Hardy is a phony. I don't think that there's any doubt. A lot of girls want to say, oh, well, he's good looking, so who cares? That's fine. I'm not saying he's not good looking. I'm saying he's a phony, though. And he pretends to be something that he's not. Again, I don't think he's a bad guy, but he tries to come off as a total good guy in all instances, all the time, when in reality, he's playing a game where you have to be deceitful, you have to lie. And I hate that he just completely will not admit that he's not perfect, basically. And I just don't like him. Then you have a segment with Bunky going around. This has happened in previous episodes, but it continues here. Bunky he goes up to Hardy and he asks, basically, Hardy, how is everyone voting this week? I want to know, how am I supposed to vote? What is the group deciding to do? What are we going to do? And Hardy basically says he doesn't tell people how to vote. Vote however you feel necessary. And Bunky straight up says to him, he tries to say it in a polite way, but Bunky has a real tough time coming across as polite. When he tries to be polite, it comes across as condescending, and that's how it came across to me here. But he says to Hardy, you've done it in the past. You've always told me how to vote in the past. You've always gave me a tip on what way we were voting as a block in the past, and now you're not. And Hardy ultimately says to vote his conscience. Bunky hears that, okay? Well, he goes to Nicole with the same approach. How should we vote? What should we do? I don't know if this was strategy or if this just is a coincidence, but he goes to Nicole, and Nicole says at the end the same exact thing. Vote your conscience. Bunky in the diary room, he's not stupid. I don't think it takes a relative, that smart of a guy. You could be a relatively dumb person and still put two and two together. They both said the exact same lines there. Vote your conscience. And Bunky's sitting there saying, well, I wonder if they're, talking to each other and having conversations behind my back. Duh. So that was a good segment. Really confirmed to Bunky that, he's a little bit out of the loop. Then we have a segment outside with Kent. His back's obviously up against the wall this week. And he's trying to talk to Nicole about making an alliance with himself, her, Bunky, and Monica. It doesn't go real, well over to Nicole. She's not receptive to it, but she is straight up with Kent in some regards. She tells Kent ultimately she threw the HOH competition, this week to Hardy because she knew Kent was going to have to be nominated, and she did not feel she could nominate him, and she felt like if she didn't, she'd be screwing herself. So ultimately, she throws the HOH, which obviously angered Kent. He didn't straight up at that moment confront her on it, but in his mind, he put two and two together right away and said, look, so basically, we're supposed to be an alliance. So it's like, okay, you're watching this video, right? You and me are in an alliance together. I expect you to have my back in all instances, 100% of the time. You are supposed to look out for me just like you look out for yourself. Well, I'm going to be nominated by most of the house, and you don't tell me, you don't notify me. And then when you have an opportunity to help keep me off the block, you do not do anything to do so. You completely throw the competition and allow somebody else to win. Thus far, I get nominated because of it. So Ken had every right to be disappointed in Nicole in that situation. I thought that was a good segment. Lots of good segments throughout this episode. Then we have the luxury competition, which normally, as I've said about food comps, I don't like anything other than the HOH comps in this season, but this was a really good one. You have the house guests split into teams, and they're playing for, basically $100 that can go towards whatever they want. Basically, they all choose to deliver flowers and gifts to, their loved ones at home. Basically, the competition is there's mannequins of all the house guests spread throughout the house, and it's, guys versus girls, and they're all blindfolded, and they have to go into the house, and, they have to feel around, because they can't see, and they have to find the mannequins, and one by one, they go in, And as soon as they come out of the house with the mannequins, the next person goes in until every single person on the given team has found the mannequin, at which time that team wins. Ultimately, the girls win. This competition was really funny. You had Monica in the house, who's, bland as fuck, but she's pretty funny in this episode. And she's moving around the house like she's fucking having a seizure. I don't know what the strategy was there, but it did work. Then you had Will, who goes in at the end, and he's hilarious. I don't know if it was part strategy and part real. He does say he was trying to win the comp, but holy shit, it didn't look like it. He's destroying everything in the house. I thought that was really funny to watch Will and watch Monica. And the girls ultimately win the competition. Then we have a little tip where it's going to be America's Choice yet again, and they're going to get some sort of an animal as a pet in the house. Krista makes her ridiculous fucking statement. She says, what if they throw a horse in here? And Nicole's response is like, you're a absolute buffoon. Like, they're not throwing a horse in here. Are you on dope? And that was really funny. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Set It Off, which if you haven't, check it out. Fantastic movie. But it reminded me of the scene in Set It Off when Queen Latifah's like, they're talking about robbing the banks, and the one person's like, you got to get in line for the cow. And the Queen Latifah's like, cow? There's going to be a cow up in there? I don't know if you've seen that, but that is what it reminded me of. Really great scene. It really showed Krista's she might be smart in certain ways in terms of her strategy in the game, but that was a pretty dumb statement. Then we have a segment where Bunky, is in bed sleeping, and Monica and Nicole are on the back patio. I don't know, they're smoking as usual, per the standard, but I guess they're being too loud. And Bunky goes out. He's half asleep. He's pretty upset about the fact they woke him up, and he kind of is just a little bit snappy. And apparently he forgot, you do not get snappy around old Nicole, or definitely old Monica, because she will let you have it. Monica and Nicole do not like the way he approached that situation, but they kind of let it go. But then later on in the episode, Monica basically explains to Bunky, like, lately you've been being a real prick to us all. We don't appreciate it. We don't like the vibe you're throwing off, and you're going to get back the vibe you're giving off. And, so Bunky gets the clarification from Monica why she's upset with him. He tries to ask Nicole, why are you upset with me? Explain it to me. Have I offended you? If so, how do I stop offending you? And Nicole straight up says, like, look, Bunky, I'm so pissed at you. I don't want to make you cry, so I'm not even going to talk to you right now. So that was a good segment. Really shows that Bunky's personality is changing as the show goes on and as the days mount. Then we had a Will diary room, which was real short, but it was real effective, where he talks about how he had envisioned the impending smoker civil war, and that it's finally happening. It's finally coming to the forefront, and he says he's reveling in it. He loves it. Just shows that Will has no conscience. He is there to play this game, and he loves seeing other people's demise. Then we find out the house is the America's Choice. They ultimately get a fucking pig is what they get. The pig's name is Ophelia, but it's a boy. Don't explain that to me because I don't understand. Or I should say someone explain it to me. We have some moments of the house guests playing with the pigs. Kind of stupid. Didn't like it. Fucking go away. Then we had a good segment where Kent is basically explaining that he's mad primarily with Hardy for what has happened, because he feels like he is the person that originally broke away from the members of Top. He says that he kind of turned his back on a lot of the members of Top, mainly him and Monica and Bunky, and has kind of just went and formed sub-alliances with Krista and Nicole, and he's also taken Will under his wings. So basically he's saying he broke Top up to be with Krista and Nicole, and then also have Will on the side, which in a lot of ways is true. Hardy will never admit it. He doesn't admit it, not only to the other house guests. My problem with Hardy is he doesn't admit it in the diary room either. Like, I like people that they can lie all they want, but don't lie to us in the diary room. Tell us what you're doing. He tries to act like, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm a great person. I'm just playing this game as honest as possible. Like, you're full of shit. And Kent recognizes it, and good for fucking Kent. Then we had some great drama the last 15 minutes of the episode. We have Kent comes inside. It's early in the morning. And basically, he goes up randomly, seemingly at a whim, and confronts, I think it's Nicole and definitely Monica, and says, like, basically, don't take, I know I'm going home this week most likely, but don't take how you feel about me out on Bunky. He's like, Bunky hasn't done anything. You guys don't even say, good morning to Bunky anymore. Like, you guys are being assholes to him. And Monica just, don't fucking start with me, Kent. Not early in the morning. She freaks out, not only at Kent, but kind of directs it towards the entire house. Says she doesn't want to put up with that shit early in the morning. And Monica, again, I don't like her. I think she's boring, but she was anything but boring during this segment. She fucking freaked out on the entire house. One of the best moments of the season from Monica. Kent is left just flabbergasted by her reaction. And a really good segment. And then we have the ending, which even one-ups and tops the previous segment. And that's, you have Kent's speech. You know, they have their like weekly meeting. And you have Hardy in the diary room saying he thinks it'll all go well. Everything will be copacetic. Everything will be calm. And it was everything but calm. Kent makes his speech and basically says, he puts it all on the table. He realizes his back's against the wall. He has nothing to lose. He basically confronts all the former members of Top. You know, you got Nicole, Monica, Bunky, and himself. He says basically, we can all group together, vote Will out of the house this week, and then that guy sitting right there and points at Hardy, says he is the biggest threat to win this game. And he says that, you know, he goes into detail about him splitting off into sub-alliances. He goes into detail about how Hardy's fake and that the whole strategy of, oh, I'm not even here to win the game is total BS. He's clearly here to win the game. He's super competitive. He's a good-looking guy. You know, he's always had things go his way. He is the true threat in this game. And Hardy obviously is not happy. He doesn't appreciate getting called out in front of the group. But Hardy's reaction to this is so pitiful. Because I swear, the whole time he's shouting back at Kent, because ultimately he loses his shit as well. You know, he almost looks like he's going to cry. Like, if you go back, watch Hardy's face. Like, tell me it does not look like tears are about to roll down his face. And you have the ending where Will's in the diary room. He says, look, I don't like Kent. I think he's gross and I think he's ridiculous. But this guy really fucking knows what's going on in the house. And it's so true. Will tells you how it is. Kent is smart. Kent is picking up. He may not win this game. He may not go far in this game. But it's not because he doesn't understand what's going on in the house. I think this was a good move by him. I mean, maybe he could have done a little better. But all in all, I thought it was a good speech. I think no matter what, he was going home in the next episode and obviously this week. But I think he did lay some thoughts in people's head about Hardy. And regardless of anything else, it was a great moment. It was a great speech. He delivered it well. There was very little stuttering within the speech. And he did what he had to do. And I thought he did a really good job. I just think there's certain situations where there's really nothing you can do. And this just happens to be one of them. But all in all, if you couldn't tell, episode 15 was phenomenal. I thought it was filled with drama from beginning to end. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'll be back for my episode 16 review probably today. Let me know what you guys thought. Like, comment, subscribe down below. And thanks, guys. See ya.